Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Thamriel. Welcome everybody to Final Fantasy XIV. Today I would like to talk about Naoki Yoshida's comments in regards to jump potions and boost potions. Naoki Yoshida is lead producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV, and he gave his response and his viewpoint and wanted to lay out a plan of action for the jump potion before it is implemented in order to gauge player feedback and see what the community says. This post was posted on the 17th of December at 9:45 a.m. I'll leave a link to it in the description below if you want to follow along with me and read along with me. I want to try to go through it and dissect it, maybe read out some of the most important parts about it, maybe read the whole thing and just kind of analyze it, but I want to go ahead and also give my thoughts about it after we read through it at the very end of the video, so feel free to stay in for the long haul and we'll see how it goes. Hello, Final Fantasy XIV producer Director Yoshida here. First off, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone for the feedback on the jumping potion. While I recently discussed in various interviews across Japan and North America and Europe, the community's feedback is extremely important when determining whether to implement a feature or not. Of course, these decisions are not solely decided based on the feedback that is presented in official forums. However, regarding this topic, we want to make the final decision after we look at it from all angles, and I like that about Yoshida and the Final Fantasy XIV team that want to make sure that talk to the community and lay the whole plan out, engage people's feedback and see what they say, and look at it from every single angle before they implement it, in a rush decision, and I like that. They take time to see what other players think and see what the community says. And I mean, if there's a huge community, say like, no, don't do it, then the most likely will not do it, to be honest. Actually, the most likely might happen if the entire community says no, but I want to go ahead and go through it, and we'll talk about it and discuss it as we continue forward. Intentions behind implementing the jump potion. The main reason we decided to implement the jumping potion was to make it easier for the new players to catch up with the rest of the community. He further explains, it has been over 3 years since we launched Final Fantasy XIV I Am Reborn. Once Stormblood is released, in order for new players to catch up to existing players, they would have to complete the main quest for both A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, level up their job to 60, and then collect the appropriate gear. I don't really see what's so difficult. The only problem that I would see is like doing the in-between storylines, so like from A Realm Reborn to Heavensward, that whole storyline, with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, that whole storyline, and then the storyline after Heavensward. That would really be the only thing I guess they would need to amend them. I don't know, maybe cut out in order to make it a little bit more streamlined, in my personal opinion, but whatever, whatever, let's keep reading. For example, if I was to attempt to convince my friend to play Stormblood, the obvious response would be, even if I wanted to, it would be impossible to catch up if I was to start now. No, trust me, we're not going to work out with level 110. Maximum level in Stormblood is going to be 70. That's pretty low for most MMOs out there, I would think. While I'll do my best to make sure my friend can catch up as soon as possible, I would still like to enjoy the exciting content and make sure I don't fall behind myself. At this point, I would feel like there is a limit to how much I can help. Okay, if my friend was bumped up to level 60, that I can help them level up even further, go through the main story and enjoy Stormblood with my friend while leveling up one of my additional jobs. Okay, I can see what is going with that. Simply put, this is the main intention of the implementing a jumping potion. Including a free trial version, we are seeing several thousand new players play Final Fantasy XIV every day. While Final Fantasy XIV might be one of those games where new players can catch up to the top end of the player relatively easy, not everyone has a lot of free time to spend on the game. A lot of people enjoy gaming as much as they can with a limited free time while managing their busy lives. I like that. They want to make sure that players that have a lot of free time and not a lot of free time can truly enjoy the game. And yes, there are a lot of players out there that, don't have a lot of free time on the weekdays, maybe have several hours, a couple hours they can invest every other day or every third day, and they want to be able to still play games. And I like that Yoshida and Final Fantasy XIV team is considering players that have a lot of free time and players that don't have a lot of free time but still want to play the game because they really like it. While people will be able to catch up even easier after the release of Stormblood, while the adjustment we will make the amount of experience points obtained, okay, understandable, it would still require a lot of time just to reach the starting point of Stormblood. I mean, depends on how fast you go. If an MMORPG is not able to recruit new players, all that is left for the game is to stabilize and eventually go into decline. At that moment, the type of operation of the game would shift to one that works hard to slow down the pace of the decline. To prevent the game from reaching that point, we would like to prepare as much as we can for the potential new players that may be interested in the game. I like that, that's good. They understand that eventually MMOs can, stagnate and decline if they don't have a growth of players, and that's good, they're thinking about that. It would also make it easier for players that stop playing the game to come back and enjoy the new content. I guess. These potions are currently implemented in the Chinese and Korean versions of the game, but not in a global version. Online games are particularly huge in China and Korea, and this type of service is provided commonly among online games released in these regions. We implemented this service in the Chinese and Korean versions of the game to make sure the game can stay competitive in their online gaming markets. Sadly, yeah, I heard that in China you have to pay per hour for internet, or pay hour for subscription, I guess. I think a subscription or internet, one or the other. And in Korea, they have a lot of MMOs out there. They have an influx of MMOs and different, MMO, MOBA type games that have some sort of, extra payment services. And that's kind of what they need in order to stay competitive, because so many games already have it. It would gimp a game if it did not have it. So in that market, I understand why they implemented it. I understand that, and it's fine because that's the competitive market there. That is the status quo there. In the West, it's not really. I mean, the only MMOs that really have it that I know of are World of Warcraft, but at the same time they got like level 110 there. Of course they need a boost potion that comes free with the expansion, that's understandable. And WildStar. But at the same time, WildStar has been kind of on a decline or a plateau of players, so it kind of needed that in order to introduce, incentivize newer players to maybe check out the game and not level through it. I don't know. Those are the only games that I know that implemented it. But let's go on. Additionally, this service is recently becoming much more popular in MMORPGs released in North America and Europe. Not really, at least I don't think so. Please note that I only mentioned the positives in this portion of the explanation because we're specifically going over our original intentions with regarding to implementing the feature. Okay, so they just want to make sure they talk about the positives because they want to talk about the intention of the potion. They are going to address the negatives afterwards. They actually do address some of the negatives afterwards, and they are going to look at the player feedback community on the post. So if you want to log on and leave your response, they do read through the responses. Final Fantasy XIV community team is very active in reading the responses and seeing what the players are like. It may not always seem like they're there, but they are there. They're constantly reading, they're constantly seeing what the player feedback is. They may even watch this video, I don't know. If they do, hi, welcome, hello, how's it going? My name is Samuel. Make sure to read the comments in the description below to see what players think. Nevertheless, let's go through the types of jumping potion. They got the story skip potion, which will allow you to complete the progress of the main story and shortcut through the main scenario. Currently on sale on the Chinese and Korean versions of the game under the name of Adventuring Records of a Realm Reborn. By purchasing this item and using it allows players to automatically clear through the final main scenario quest of patch 2.55 before the dawn. Alright, I read a little bit further down a little bit in the post, and the story skip potion is not the one that lets you skip the in-between storyline. It actually gets you to level 50, lets you complete before the dawn or the after Realm Reborn storylines, and gets you right at the doorstep of Ishgard, and you get to enter Ishgard and start the questline for Final Fantasy Heavensward, which is understandable. Okay, so it's a booster potion that will let you skip through the in-between storylines. Okay, gotcha, understandable. And if you get the Heavensward one, I guess the Heavensward one will be available whenever Stormblood is out, I'm guessing. Then it would let you get over to level 60. It would boost you all the way to 60 and will let you skip through the storyline, or let it count as completed for the storyline after Heavensward of 3.5 Part 2. Okay. Actually, further down in details to go down in description and kind of explain what it is. So the requirement is must have an active service account and created a character for the jump potion to work, and the account must be paying a monthly sub fee. Free trial accounts are not eligible. Okay. The quest before the fall will be set as cleared, and you'll be able to undertake the main scenario quest coming to Ishgard if you're doing the the level 50 boost. You'll automatically join the grand company of your starting city-state. Okay, that kind of takes away the player choice, which was, allowed to you while you're questing. And, well, understandable. Make it a little bit easier streamlined. Starting with lowest rank. Okay, gotcha. You'll automatically be given a personal chocobo, a generic name will be given to it. Okay. All athorites for Ram Reborn will be unlocked. Okay. All dungeons implemented up to patch 2.5 will be set as cleared. Okay. Alright. So people will be able to have, you know, King Moggle set as cleared, and Leviathan and other dungeons that were done in between set as cleared. In a way that is gonna kind of gimp players for if they ever do lower level dungeons, because they won't know what they're doing. They never played them, they never experienced them, so if they go into like Sastasha or something, I think that's how you pronounce it, they won't know what to do. They'll be already boosted, but they will never experience the dungeon. They don't know how to, you know, properly play the role, so you'll probably gimp them. But I'll talk about all this at the end of the video. The unending journey, which can be used at inns and such, will be entirely unlocked for everything that was completed, okay? Unlock quests for minimum required feature will be set as cleared. Alright, anyone that is yet to clear before the dawn is able to use this potion. Even if you stop playing while you were progressing through the main scenario quest line in patch 2.4, the potion will yield the same effect. However, if you already belong to a grand company and or have a chocobo, your existing status will take priority over your potion's effect. So if you, let's say, get to level 25 or level 20, and you already chose a grand company and you already have a chocobo of you choosing, and you named your chocobo, then that will stay as is while the rest of you gets boosted. Additionally, since it will be possible to use the unending journey, you'll be able to experience the portion of the story that was skipped in a digital format. In order to make it possible to use each of the different roulettes, the dungeons for A Realm Reborn are set as cleared. While there's a difference between the item price in China and Korea, the potion is around 2,500 Japanese yen as of right now. So 2,500 Japanese yen is roughly 25 bucks, I believe, or 24 bucks, something like that. 24.99, we can probably assume that would be the price for this jump potion. I have some concerns about it. Players that never experienced any of the dungeons up to that point, let's say they just made the account, right? Just decided to make the account, use the jump potion to get themselves to 50. Any of the dungeons that they've never done, or guild has they never done, or, you know, trials they've never done, or raids they've never done, are gonna be there. Well, raids they'll have to unlock, as far as I understand. But the dungeons, all the dungeons that that's supposed to have cleared through the storyline and supposed to do and learn about, they wouldn't do. So let's say they get queued into like Sastasha or something, right? A lower level dungeon just to do, you know, you do regular runs through. They won't know what to do, even though it'll be like maximum level 50. That's gonna be really weird, right? Having level 50 character in a dungeon like Sastasha, you know, like the very first dungeon you ever do. I think it's called Sastasha, something along the lines of that. The Pirate Cove. They will be level 50. And they won't know what to do. They'll most likely not know what the role is, so if they queue as a warrior or a paladin, oh lord. With that said, there is a caveat to this situation. Players that want to get good will get good. Players that will ask for help are gonna learn how to play it. Players that say ahead of time, hey, I'm boosted character, I'm still learning my roles, any help would be appreciated, would be awesome. Communication with the community, that's what being helping Final Fantasy XIV be so good, and get new people to learn some new mechanics, or learn the role, learn the abilities, and learn how to do well. So players that are, want to play well and want to actually do well are going to learn how to play well. And typically it's going to be players that are experienced that want to do the actual boosting. Players that are new will say, hey, well, maybe it's best I don't boost. Maybe it's best I learn to play from the start and learn how to, the ins and outs of the game on my own pacing instead of boosting myself. We got people like Mr. Happy, we got MTQ Capture, we got a lot of people in the Final Fantasy XIV community that are out there making guides and videos and teaching new players how to play the game. Hell, I have a lot of newer players watching me and learning how to play the game through my Let's Plays and my videos. And I'm more than happy to teach new players. If the boost potion gets implemented, I swear to God, I'm making my job to literally do courses, little brief courses, for all the boosted players out there to teach them how to play the game. I'll gladly do it. If it to help other players, make sure they do well, and players that do want to learn, I will give them the resources. There are resources available out there right now. Just gotta look into it. So I have faith that this won't be a huge problem, but it is a concern definitely. Wait a minute, in the jump potion work, it doesn't say... Okay, before we go into anything else, let's talk about the jump potion, but I do see something weird about it, about this implementation first. But let's go through the job jump potion. Must have an active account, must be paying monthly fee. Let's say Paladin, they decide to boost a Paladin. Paladin's base class, Gladiator, will become level 50, the secondary class required for Paladin, Conjurer, will become level 15, a sword of a certain item will be distributed, item level 120 for the Korean version, Paladin's job stone will be distributed, the job quest for Paladin will be set as cleared, up to level 50, okay. Item that worth roughly 300,000 gil cannot be traded will be distributed as funds for equipment, okay. Multiple silver chocobo feathers will be distributed, which can be exchanged for equipment, okay. I guess it's alright to have the job jump potion, but here's the weird thing. In a story skip potion, I don't see anything that lets them boost a class to a level 50. So does that mean they'll have to also buy the job jump potion separately as well? Which is also priced at 2,500 Japanese yen. Huh. For the Korean version, there's also a story skip potion and a job jump potion set. It's an option sold only for new players and returners as a starter pack. So wait, players will have to get as a bundle? Like, a new player would have to buy a story skip potion for 25 and the job jump potion for 25, which is extra 50 bucks to spend. I mean, they are paying to skip through all the content and get a, you know, a class change, but that is a really weird system. I don't think that's gonna work square. Like, legitimately, think about it. If you're going to be selling a jump potion, right? If you're going to be selling a jump potion to get people to level 60, you might as well include a free job jump potion, which lets them cap out one job at level, you know, at level 60 or 50 or whatever you want to jump it to. Let's assume it's going to be Adventuring Records of Realm Reborn, which caps people out level 50 to enter Heavensward. Let's assume that. If you're going to sell the Adventuring Records of Realm Reborn, you know, that caps people out to 50, you should at least include one free job jump potion, at least. I mean, unless they aren't going to include it. Okay, there's some problems with this. I'm glad Square is actually talking about this, it's actually really good. I like that, but I don't know if it's going to be properly implemented. I get the idea of the potions by themselves. Let's talk about this a little bit. First of all, it feels like the two potions are being sold as separate entities. And personally, I don't think it's gonna work, honestly. I feel like if you're gonna be creating the jump potion or boost potion, you don't make two separate ones, or you keep the two separate ones, but you bundle in the job boost potion with your story skip potion, right? So let's say you're skipping story to level 60, you're boosting a character to 60, and you want to get yourself nice and ready at 60. It would include a free job jump potion with your bundle. So you pay 25 or 21 bucks. I checked last time on Google, that is 21 bucks for 2,500 yen, roughly. So roughly be maybe $22, $20, something like that. You paid the $22 price tag, right? You boost your character to 60, and you would include a free job boost potion that lets you boost one singular job to 60. Probably not including the Heavensward jobs, just the baseline jobs that come with the actual game. That'd be fine, because it would allow players to already start off nicely geared, not make them worry about, oh, do I have to buy the story skip and the job boost potion, or make them, you know, pay in a bundle. You're already paying to boost a character, it should come with a free job boost as well. If you want to then boost jobs afterwards, maybe limit to how much you can actually get in the first place, or how many you get a year, you know, so people don't just, you know, spend $100-something and boost like 4 or 5 different jobs and like, okay, I'm ready, let's go tank, DPS, heal, and craft and gather. I don't know. I feel like maybe there might be alternatives to this, right? Instead of implementing a job boost potion, make leveling out the jobs, alternative jobs after already reaching max level, a lot faster. For example, what they could do is, if you're a certain rank at a grand company, it would give you the ability to purchase a certain item for a lot of seals that would actually increase your experience rate gain for your alternative jobs that you choose. So you equip it to a specific job, it stays with you permanently, it lets you level a particular job to max level and only expires at max level. So for example, if I want to level a Thaumaturge and Black Mage, I would go over to my grand company if I'm the highest rank available, purchase an item for 20 seals, 30 seals, 40 seals, even 80 seals if I really want to, you know, make so that, you know, leveling up squadrons actually gives you an incentive to get that particular item. Grind up 80,000 seals, purchase the item, apply it permanently on my Thaumaturge class, and then make sure that my thaumaturge has a higher rate of leveling experience. Not like times 10 experience, but like definitely increase, like maybe 2.5 experience rate, something like that. Something that would incentivize me to, work hard in game to purchase something rather than, paying real money in order to really leveling up alternative jobs. Because I mean, all you need to just make sure that the gate for leveling up alternative jobs is easier. Finalize changes the feature upon the release of Stormblood. The story jumping potion will become the adventuring records of Heavensward. Okay, so eventually the one released, the Heavensward one that boosts people to 60 and gets them ready to play in Stormblood. The player character will have completed the main quest for the final quest in patch 3.5 part 2, as well as accepting the initial main quest for the Stormblood. Adventuring records of Heavensward can be purchased if the player has purchased and registered a copy of Heavensward expansion. Okay, players will be able to boost one job. Okay, so the boosting of one job will come with a jump potion. Okay, that's fine, that's good. The gear that the player will receive will be changing to level 60 gear for the corresponding job. Okay, understandable. We're still discussing whether to add potions for Machinist, Dark Knight, Astrologian. No, don't. If players really want Machinist, Dark Knight, and Astrologian, they'll go back to Ageguard and they'll get Machinist, Dark Knight, and Astrologian. You learn about Machinist, Dark Knight, and Astrologian as you enter Heavensward. If you don't learn about them, how do you know you can boost them? I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like Machinist, Dark Knight, and Astrologian already are capped at level 30, right? They already started level 30, so you go through majority of grind already as is. You get into the fun part of playing a job. So why even allow people to boost to 60? Just let them re-level it. Why not? Presume negative effects. Now we get to the negatives. A gap between players' skill between existing players and new players. Yes! And not knowing what to do in previous instances. That's gonna be a problem. But they do say something. If you look at the numbers of players who fall within the below criteria, have just started playing, have activated the account, or have purchased one of the jumping potions, at most we see only about 27 or 29 of Korean and Chinese players making the potion purchasable. Okay, so roughly 27 to 21 of Korean players actually purchase the potions, the rest actually just play, and just don't worry about the potions. When purchasing the potion, a great number of players made a purchase once they were familiar with the game after leveling to level 30 through the free account or with an active account. With that said, we've seen data that shows that there are not many instances of completely new players purchasing them. So it's not the new players purchasing them, it's actually existing players purchasing them. I'm not saying that it's non-existent, but it's much lower than the worst case scenario that has been assumed. Alright. However, once we begin this service with Stormblood, we can assume many players will jump to Heavensward, and these players will join at level 60, leading to a short period of time where there may be a large skill gap between existing and new players, okay? There were about 20 to 21% of those who purchased story jump potions along with the above conditions. For those who have purchased a job jumping potion, it looks like there's a good amount of players who want to experience the main scenario themselves. Alright, that's good. That's good. People that are boosting want to experience the scenario themselves. That's good. Additionally, from those who have purchased the potion, we can see that over 50% of the players have played longer than 3 months. So that the potion would actually implement, give a motivation for people to pay for even, not pay, but play for even longer. Feeling no buying experience with money. For those who have never used these type of jumping potions, you may have the type of feeling towards this matter. Although some understand this as a pay to win, however, this measure were put in place for those players that can get on the current standard, therefore it isn't there to hurt everyone's play experience or time spent until now, as is in place for further expand the community. With that said, we understand the feelings may not go away for some time for players, so please be sure to leave your feedback. In summary, he goes through a summary of the positives and negatives, and the job is to bolster operations so that as many new players as possible are able to play with everyone, and they want people to leave the feedback. They really encourage people feedback, so please go to the forums if you want to leave feedback, or make videos like I'm doing right now if you want to leave feedback. Okay, so my thoughts. Well, some of you may be surprised, and it might not be the most popular opinion, but I'm actually remotely okay with it. Like, I understand the concerns about it, especially if people that have invested a lot of hours and time into Final Fantasy XIV to think, why should new players, be able to just pay the way through it? Why wouldn't they not just work for it and learn the game how everybody else learned, through experience the best part of the game, which is the story. While MMOs don't really do the story so well, one of the best parts of Final Fantasy is the story and the epic journey that it takes you through. And while it takes you through this journey, it teaches you about the game, teaches you all the ins and outs and how to operate the game and how to play the game. And that is awesome. And that is good that it does that. It's probably one of the best things that Final Fantasy XIV has done so far. The story and how it like makes you experience the story, and whether you're doing side quests for your class, your story quests, which has its own narrative, or your class quest, which has its own narrative, whether you're doing crafting, battle, or gathering professions. There's a story to experience, and Final Fantasy XIV is an experience of its own. And cutting that out using a boost just feels really cheap. And I understand some people, I think, they're very concerned that maybe this could be like a money-grabbing strategy. But from what Naoki Yoshida has posted, it's not something that he didn't think like, hey, what's the best way to just cash in? A lot of MMOs outdays seem to like, they want to just cash in on, the next cash grab and just, get away with it. And that's it. That's kind of what most MMOs, or what people in the, the West are now used to whenever companies go out and say, hey, we want to include this feature, let's just keep certain content. We're thinking, it's probably another cash grab. But Yoshida took a lot of time to consider this thing and to just be able to be as transparent and open about the plan of action and let people know what the feedback is. So if anything, what we should do is, I feel like we should engage in the discussion and maybe tweak the system to make it less, doesn't seem like pay to win. In my opinion, it doesn't seem pay to win whatsoever. It just allows people that would like to pay extra to, get, advancing forward and actually get to play the current content. I think players should be definitely encouraged to play the old content to unlock all the instances for sure, for certain. And with the resources, players that, are gonna boost, they're gonna understand, they're gonna be gimped, they're gonna be highly unskilled. And there are resources they can use out there to become better. Like I said, this platform itself is a great resource to learn how to play a class, and to learn how to do certain instances and certain dungeons, and how to learn how to dye your chocobo, how to get your chocobo, how to get your legendary weapon, how to get anything at all done in this game. The best resource is Google and YouTube. And I think we're gonna have plenty of resources like this available for new players, so I think we might be okay. I just think that the entire system kind of needs to be reworked so that, people aren't just paying the way to get their jobs to level 60 and get to just, do whatever. Maybe rework of the in-game system on how you level alternative jobs would be really cool, because as of right now, it's a little bit slow leveling other alternative jobs, and takes time, takes effort. You gotta invest your time. I have a little bit more free time because of the, the holiday break, the winter break, but not a lot of people out there have, and not a lot. Holiday breaks aren't just happening every single day, to be honest. I don't know, it's gonna be difficult getting it fully working, implemented properly for the system. It's gonna take a while before people are fully happy and used to it, but it's gonna take a while. It just, what they need right now is player feedback, and your feedback is going to be the most important player feedback of all. Like, when you go to the forums and you participate in the conversation and the communication of the system, that's probably the best thing you can do as a player, and that's something that I want to do as well by making this video and causing, player awareness of this issue, or this, I guess, concern. It's not really much of an issue. It's just a feature that is controversial, and obviously it's controversial, and clearly Yoshi P is, he's concerned about what the community is gonna say. The last thing he wants to do is ruin the trust and, the trust and the relationship that Final Fantasy XIV dev team and the community have had together. He values that as his top priority, which is why he's being so open about the system and how they're planning to, implement it. And they want people to offer suggestions and offer maybe alternatives. They want to see that. They want to hear that. They're not saying, hey, this is gonna happen and you're gonna like it. If there's a huge, collection or majority of people saying, no, please do not implement it, I swear to God, please don't, they most likely won't implement it. They want to see it as an opportunity to introduce more newer players. And I say, the more the merrier. If this new system gets people to get into the game and learn how to play the game and integrate into our community and play with us, then by God, come on in. I'll make it my priority. I will swear to God, I feel like me, Mr. Happy, MTQ, and everybody else who makes guides will go out of the way gladly, with a smile on the face, to introduce newer players by making, bite-sized guides to new boosted players and teach them, offer them the tools and resources on how to play the game and what to do in the game, how to unlock certain things. There are already enough resources right now, but I mean, I don't see how this would, be much of a problem. Here's the thing. If it's a concern of players not having the proper skill, there are people on YouTube that will gladly make videos to help those people, to make sure that everybody is properly skilled. If it's a problem of, feeling cheated as if people just got to skip the content, well, at the same time, they never got to, unlock certain things that you did. You taking time to lock a lot of these things and learn how to do things properly. There's still going to be a lot of things that these new booster players will have to learn how to do regarding glamour, dyeing, material melding, everything. Market boards, everything. They're going to have to relearn it all. They just won't have to start at level 1. And that's really the only difference. I say the more the merrier. The more players we get in Final Fantasy XIV, the better it is, the better the game is going to do in the long run and in its length. And I know it's not going to be the most popular opinion, but with the system they implemented, from what I read, it looks like it's definitely well thought of. It needs some tweaks, for sure. Yeah, it definitely needs some tweaks. It needs a player feedback. And that player feedback comes from you, comes from me, comes from everybody who's playing Final Fantasy XIV and is vocal about it. We have to be vocal about it. I know a lot of people probably gonna go in the forum and say, well, I'm not gonna buy Stormblood anymore. That's fine. If you're upset, that's understandable. But let's try to be constructive about it, right? Let's try to offer constructive criticism in order to improve the system as a whole. So when it comes out, doesn't feel like a cash grab. I'm pretty sure that's the intention of Yoshi P here, is to make sure to tell the community, hey, we want to implement the system for these specific reasons. If they wanted a cash grab, to be honest, if they really wanted to have a cash grab, they would have implemented right now. They wouldn't say a single thing. They'd be like, all right, this is a thing, this is gonna happen, and have a good day. They would never even make a letter. Yoshi P would not go out of his way to post this letter and to actually address the community about this. He is going out of his way to talk about this because this matters to him. The trust and the relationship that Square and Final Fantasy XIV and the community of Final Fantasy XIV have developed is a priority. They want to make sure that everybody is aware of it and everybody is contributing towards creating a system that both developers and players can be happy about. And that's what it is. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the description below. If you watched throughout this entire video, major kudos to you. Holy crap, seriously, 30-minute video. I did not mean for it to be this long. Nevertheless, I really hope you enjoyed. My name is Stamria. Like, subscribe, and as always, have a great day. Please join in the discussion in the comments below. I do read the comments. I don't always respond, but I always read them. Thanks so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed, and can't wait to read your answers. Have a great day, everybody.